Welcome back to Ringworm yet again, the piece of property and YouTube channel horribly named for a reason, to keep visitors away. This is my second summer living out here, mostly alone in a tent in Michigan, and it's miserable in the summers. Not all of the summer, but some of the summers. The hottest weeks, usually 2, 3, 4 weeks out of the year, where the middle of the day is so hot, there's no place to sit to cool down. It's too hot to work. You certainly can't be in a tent. You all know that feeling when you're in a tent and the sun's on it and you start melting. So I decided I'm going to build a gazebo. I'm calling it a gazebo because I'm fancy. Could be called a screened-in porch. Actually don't really know what the difference is. I just wanted a fully screened structure with a real roof where on the hottest days I could sit in there out of the bugs, maybe edit a video. Like with every structure I build out here, I'm building the whole thing with a chainsaw. I'm not buying any lumber. Don't ever buy lumber. I just make everything with a chainsaw mill. So let's get back to it. I think we're, I don't know, 4 or 5 videos into this thing. I've got most of the lumber milled up for the roof sheeting, 1-inch, mostly aspen. And it's time to start ripping the edges and putting on. Man, wish you could see the camera right now. It's covered in deer flies. Oh, I hate those things. Anyway, oh yeah, they're getting thick. Anyway, let's get back to building. I got these 4 or 5 big aspen logs milled up, and just to take a break from my body from sitting on the ground doing the milling, I'm going to take this stuff down and borax that. A lot of these I was going to throw out because they've got a lot of real small bug holes in it, and I'm sure the bugs are still active in there, but I'm going to use that garden sprayer and mix up some borax and spray all the boards that I have, and just see how far I can get sheathing the roof. My guess is maybe halfway or so, but I need a break anyway, so let's just see how far it goes. That's the only thing I could find out where I am that would treat the wood and maybe kill off some of the bugs. There was a lot of that wood, it's all blowdowns, and the outside, maybe a couple inches of several of the logs had bugs in it, but the inside, you still get, I don't know, 12, 14, 16 inches of wood on the inside. That's perfectly good. So I'll trim most of the outsides off of each board, but in case there's some bugs that made it past that part that I trim off, I'm just going to go ahead and treat it all. So also, this entire thing is not getting painted or sealed or anything because that's just the way I do it. I hope it lasts for a year or 2 or 3, but the fun is just in making the thing, so I'm not going to spend the money or take the time and seal the whole thing up. So borax it is. And while I got a minute to sit here, I'm going to put a couple of names in the table. Do this for anybody that donates $5 a month or more to Surviving Ringworm on Patreon. It's only because people are donating every month that I can stay out here, keep doing this, keep making videos. So thank you guys for donating. Let's put a couple names in the table. Oh, what a mess. Any of you catching your names from previous carvings? Hopefully you get to see them in a lot of videos. It's the only table I have out here, so they will show up. Do we get everybody? Oh, don't want to forget Laura L. Thank you, Laura L. I think that's all for this round. Maybe put some warm water in here to help dissolve this. If this works, I'm going to spray everything I build in this, because things do seem to like to collect bugs and decompose pretty fast out here. This would be great. Almost free. So this is going to mix up 2 gallons. That's probably enough for my guesses for the whole thing I'm building here. This box of borax was like $6. So incredible. I'm going to spray this on everything. Well, mix it with lake water so it's organic. I'm gonna lay them all out here, spray them really thick, flip them over, do that once or twice, and then, you know, I won't be able to spray the bottom of them once they're up here, but at least the top, once I get it all together, I'll probably spray it one more time and then put the tar paper and shingles on. There's no telling whether or not this will work, but what else am I gonna do? It's always a difficult choice to use these big trees that are down and the lumber is just laying there. It's very hard to mill, it's hard to work with, warps and cracks a lot, but it's basically free for the taking laying there. Otherwise, it's going around and cutting. I love building with the cedar, and even these, all of this. So this is a cedar pole, and all these bent ones on the corners. I don't know if you could tell that they're really bowed. I like the bowed look. Those are all cedar, and then the rafters and this frame up here from a giant pine. So, I mean, even that, I think I'm gonna put the ladder up there and just hop up and give it all a good dosing with the borax and water. Can't hurt anything. In fact, once this is all done, I might even spray the floor in here. That's mostly cedar, so it lasts a lot longer. It's pretty rot resistant, but little borax never hurt anyone. That's probably not true. So these are all going to get a line snapped and then the edges trimmed off, so just worrying about the top and bottom mostly. Some of the stuff is really beautiful. Unfortunately, the wood that I have that's that pretty is horrible for building. So all the logs I milled up I brought down here, regardless if they're good building material or not. You can see this is all bug eaten in the middle. But, you know, if you do one course of boards up here and you just need another little piece to finish the last space there, you can always cut this chunk out of it here. There's a good piece, there's a good piece. This one's really the worst board there was. Think I got it all? Kind of hard to tell. All right, on to trimming up some boards. Been working on my second David Sedaris book in a row, audiobook. So great, so funny. All right, chainsaw on. It's not going to matter too much how the edges fit together, because these are super wet, and as they dry, they're going to pull apart. I don't know how much this will shrink aspen. I know the cedar will make a good, say for a 6 or 8 inch boards, will make a good 3/8 of an inch gap, like a big gap. That's how much they shrink up this way, apart from each other. And we'll see how much this does. It'll be significant, I'm sure. The only reason I run the planer over the edges of these is when you're ripping the edge off with a chainsaw, you go push the bar through, stop, push the bar through, stop, you know, work your way through the board, and sometimes where you stopped and restarted, you'll end up with a little, you know, uneven edge on it, and it sucks when you get these just how you want it. It's up there in the roof and you go to put them together and there's just like a little bump, a little more than you could cut off with your pocket knife or something. Have to drag them down or get the planer out or whatever. So I've just learned to anytime I rip the edges off, I just run that over really fast to get the big chunks off. They always end up fitting a whole lot tighter and saving headaches in the long run. And if you can see right here where I came off the line a little bit with the chainsaw, and I didn't bother even backing up to try to get any closer. Again, this is in a roof, it's not going to make any difference, but if you were trying to fit these close together and trying to grind that off with a chainsaw like it is would be kind of a pain. You'd make it look worse than it already is. So this is where running that planer over it, I don't know if you can see here those irregularities, you just hit it with the planer and they come right out. Those are not light. They will be by the end of the summer, but they are beastly. I'm probably going to have to pre-cut all these before I get them up there. I like to do the chop and scooch, which is the best way I know to not waste a lot of lumber, like I did with this. You have the raw edges, you put them together, run a saw between it, knock it together, run a saw between it until it just fits. You come up with some good character in it, like, I don't know if you can tell on this board. Oh, it's narrow here and gets wider there. If I was to pre-cut that, I would have just lost all this extra width down here. I'd had to cut it down to the skinniest part, and that's what I don't want to do with these, because it takes so much effort to make these. I don't want to take all these boards, find the skinniest one, and cut them, rip them all down to that to start. So I'm going to find roughly the lengths I need, lay them side by side like this, and then I'm going to snap the chalk line right up to the edge of, the narrowest spot. Get the most I can out of each course. Don't slide. Oh, slid. It's hard to swing a hammer right at eye level. You know me, no planning. Don't pound the nails in all the way yet. Let's see, get a little ways along before we sink any of them in. Looks like it might work. Do I dare tap them in? Nah. Let's put a couple courses on here. Tap them in before I climb up there. Oh, I thought I'd run out and buy the appropriate fasteners for this job. Then I thought, nah, why bother? Just went and pawed through my selection and found some nails, slightly rusted, of course, from the Habitat for Humanity restore that I every time I go by one, I stop by and stock up. Look at that. This is a leftover box. I think it was 10 bucks when it was full. So this cost about $2 maybe to put the roof on here. Changed my mind. Gonna give her a drink of the good stuff. I did some more digging and might as well go with the 16s. For how much these boards are gonna slowly curl up as they dry out, I think it's gonna need a little more than the nails I started with, so still basically free. long. I think this is the last course I'm going to do, just because access is a pain. And I'll run over and start on the bottom of that. I'm going to probably get like 2 or 3 courses and then have to go find some more trees to mill. I think I know where a couple more down aspens are, pretty big ones. That would be maybe enough to finish this if the wood's good. So it's kind of fun doing this part. Listening to one of my favorite books ever, Bill Bryson's A Walk in the Woods. I think it came out a few years before I hiked the Appalachian Trail. If you haven't read it, I highly recommend it. I'm laughing so hard. I've read it, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 times. This is the first time I've listened to it, but like laughing so hard out here I can't breathe and I have to stop working. It is so funny. Picked up a new hammer recently. I guess maybe I've been in the woods too long, because a lot of the hammers have this now. This little magnet in them. Does everybody know about these? Fantastic. You stick your nail on there if you can't quite reach to the spot. How freaking handy is that? Usually they just add gimmicks. I guess it's kind of a gimmick, although it works great. Whoop. I got a lot further along than I thought I would with the, what was that, 4 logs I think I milled. So it looks like I need about, I'll probably mill up 2 more logs, a log and a half, and bring it down. And you never want to do more than you have to, especially when you're milling this aspen with a relatively small chainsaw. It's so much work. So I think I got an idea where there's a big aspen. The top half of the tree broke off and fell on the trail. I trimmed it out of the way, but the main trunk of the tree is still just standing there, so I might knock that over and see. I know where it broke off. It was rotten, but it's funny how those trees rot. And you get a limb on it, eventually the limb breaks off, and then it tries to seal over that hole, and water always runs down in there on this species for some reason, sits in there and rots it out, so you get like these pockets of rot, and that's where the trees tend to break off a lot. So let's go cut down that trunk and see what it looks like. Thought this was just a giant limb that came down in the middle of the night one night, but it's actually the whole top of the tree. And you can see where the old branches were, so that's completely hollow in there. Not very nice there, but I don't doubt that part of this still has good wood in it. Don't know for sure, but we'll bring it down and have a look-see. Nope, no good. There's the stump, big hole. Go up about 4 or 5 feet, and at least there's not a hole there, so might just keep making rounds until I find something good. Not bad. I can't really tell, there's some discoloration, but I'm not sure what's going on. I think I'll just drag it out and mill it up. That's good. That's like a 10, 11 foot log. That'll be, well, I'll need maybe 2 of those to finish up. It's like 50 feet down the trail here. There's another, man, there's another down tree. There are tons of down trees, but this might make a nice, small, easy to move aspen saw log. Not very big, but one log anyway. Sucker's heavy. Not sure these 2 are going to be quite enough. This one's a little bit too small. I'm thinking I'm probably going to need 1 more log. I just tried a couple more down that were back there and they're rotty. So there is 1 more completely dead standing. And look at these things. This is not one of them. I mean, this is the aspen, but it's still got leaves on it. They're just they're ready to come down. This guy has no leaves on it. And I'm wondering if it's too late to get a good chunk of wood out of it or not. I'm gonna bring it down anyway. What a mess. Well, start cutting rounds going up, see what we find. Nope, too far gone. Not a single good log in there. That's what the inside of all these look like. Why they're falling over in the dozens. Pretty, but lots of cracks. Hoping I can get a few boards out of this one. That's a pretty one, huh? I'm friggin' beat. That is so hard on the body sitting like that. But I'm pretty sure I got enough wood out of these 2 logs to finish up the roof. I did probably 4 or 5 of the boards I gorilla glued back together into good shape, so at least they're good enough to put on there, and then the nails will hold them from splitting too much. So muggy, and even the hair on my legs hurts from kneeling on it. Sweaty and gross. All right, enough whining. Let's do it. I've been doing a couple of small experiments with this borax in the last few days, just to see how quickly and well it works. I don't know if you can see this big fat stripe right here. Just sprayed that with a little bit of borax 2 days ago. See how long it would take to kill that green. Worked quite well. It's kind of exciting for something that's that cheap. So cheap it's basically free. I think I am gonna use that on everything I build from now on. We'll be curious to know how long that lasts. I mean, clearly the rain must wash it away, but for anything that's covered, well, we'll find out. I'll let you know if I learn anything more. Crap. Now that I get it all laid out, I'm pretty confident that's not going to be enough. Man, that's too bad. I just found in a pile over here from a previous project I have a few 1-inch sticks of cedar too, but now that I've done the whole thing in aspen, I hate to just throw in like 2 boards of something different. We'll see. Let's just see how far it goes. Getting close. Gotta go find another ladder, find my extension ladder. Can't stick my big fat head through there anymore. Should have started doing this earlier. Was about halfway through the roof when I got out the Gorilla Glue, and you know, some of these boards are beautiful. Like this is about 14 inches, and it just has that one crack, so I end up losing a lot of wood all the way down the board just because it's got a crack 3 inches out there. So Gorilla Glued them. It only takes like an hour or two to set. Trim off the foam and then throw them up there, and they're all nailed in place, so the splitting shouldn't be too much of an issue. Check this out. Just coming to get the ladder. This is where I was doing all the milling. Some new trees down. I was just gone for a couple days to do some family stuff. Apparently there was a pretty big blow, and this was one of the trees I was looking at taking down, although it was just a little bit too big and kind of leaned the wrong way. I didn't really want to deal with it, especially being out here alone. The tree came down, and it hit the other tree I was looking at taking down. See the root ball right there? They either break off or rip the entire root ball up, but you can see how the roots only go like 2 feet into the ground, and then the whole thing just peels up. One monster hit the other. Look at how much lumber this is. That's let's see, from there to here is maybe 30 feet, and then it's straight another 20 feet. So 50 feet, that's like 5 huge logs. I'm gonna have to make something else that needs a roof. And then this guy is, you know, that's 25 feet to there, plus some more. That is nuts. But this is my milling spot, and right here, this is the top of that. So that's from the biggest first tree there. I don't know what that is. That's like 70 or 80 feet to there, and it's still a foot diameter. And get another, man, that's a lot of logs. And I just happen to be looking at this cedar to possibly take down. It's so big, but it's 3 different trees. Well, 3 in 1, and they're all leaned apart. But check that out. That's what happens when you get a double tree like that that's smushed together, and all the water gets down in the crack there and just kind of rots it out. But that's massive. Look at that's like a 12 or 14 inch cedar there. That one's about a 12. Wow, it's perfectly straight too. And this one's been leaned like this since as long as I've been here. And that's like 25 feet of I don't know, 14 inch down here cedar. But just in that one tree blowing down, hitting the other one, and then ending up here, that's enough saw logs to build whatever I want. Whatever my next project is, it's free wood. Fantastic. Yeah, it looks nice from up here. Pretty wood. Once I've cut these, I'm not about to throw it away without trying to glue it first. Done. Even though these are nailed all the way back here, it's always a little freaky to cut, cut these off when you're standing over dead air. I guess I should have moved all my stuff from underneath here first, huh? Yeah, that's done for. This is great. It's like once you get the roof on, you can kind of feel the room and feel like the size of the room and everything. This is going to be absolutely fantastic. Well, I need some lunch. I'm going to go eat a little bit, and look what I just got. Let's see if it's the right size. It is. 7-foot roll of screen. So one solid piece all the way around, and then some triangles up there. I don't know how I'm going to attach it to the floor, but up here will be pretty easy. Anyway, we'll figure it. Click like if you like, subscribe if you want to come back and see the next step here. I'm going to have a snack and then maybe haul some shingles and tar paper up there. We'll see. So freaking exciting. This place is going to be awesome. See ya.